Hi guys, and welcome back to our FIFA 20 Sunderland Road to Glory career mode. Now, I know that I did say in the last episode that I was going to leave it a few days before we did start the new season in the Championship to give you guys enough time to get your suggestions in for players to buy and who to sell them, what have you. But you guys absolutely smashed it. As soon as the last episode went out, you guys flew in with so many good suggestions, and I think we have more than enough really to go in to the season ahead. So this episode is more than likely going to be sort of 99% transfer based, because I have a plan in my head of who we're going to go for, who we're going to sell, etc. Of course, that might not all go to plan if certain things don't work out. And then hopefully, once we've rounded off all the transfers, we get to the first game of the season. That is my plan for this episode. But of course, shit might hit the fan and it might not go as smoothly as that. So the first plan of action and the first play we're going to go for is Troy Parrott, a player in which I've spoke about for quite a few episodes now, and I have said even last season that I was planning and intending on going for him. Young player, Irish lad, 18 years of age. He won't be getting much game time at Spurs, I wouldn't think. And now we're in the Championship. I think that's a pretty realistic signing because I can't really see him breaking into that Spurs side. And he's just a youngster that I think, it's good to have a young striker up there that, you can build on and train a lot. We might not get a load of first team football, but you never know. But we are going to go in for him, and I think we should be able to get him on the cheap as well. Anywhere between 1.15 and 1.6 million. So we'll go in for him and see what kind of deal we can get done. So I'll be a bit cheeky at first, and we'll go for 950k. Hopefully he doesn't turn that away. 950k, 1.1, that's not too bad. We'll go for 1 million just to be really, really stingy. Hopefully they take 1 million. Will they take it? 1.05. Okay, that'll do. I'll accept that. I am going to have to try and be as tight with money as possible if I want to squeeze in all the players I want. I've wrote them all down, all the worths and stuff like that, and the estimated worths. So I'm hoping that we do manage to get some over the line. But that will include, of course, me selling players, which we'll get onto in just a minute after we have hopefully finalised this deal for Troy Parrott. So he wants a rotation squad role, which I think is fair. We will be rotating a lot this season. He wants a 5-year contract, which is ideal. He's a youngster that we are trying to build up, so that's perfect, a 5-year contract. He doesn't want a release clause, so this is going really smoothly straight away in this episode. And he wants 5.5k, which isn't much at all. I'll try and remove the bonus. He might want a little bit more in wages if I do that. He does 5.7k, but that is absolutely fine. We'll accept that. And our first signing of the transfer window as we head into the Championship is Spurs striker Troy Parrott. And there he is, 66 rated, and I'm hoping we can really boost up that rating throughout this season. Now, onto our transfer listed players. Now, some of you are not going to be happy with this, but it is mainly from your suggestions. Chris Maguire, who went down last season, he did kind of fall out of favour as we did start to use Maddison in the cam role. We have Gooch on one side, we have McGeady on the other, and Maguire found himself in the sort of second string squad, and we didn't really use him as much, and his rating went down as well, like I say, last year, and he is 31 years of age, so I think we should put him on the transfer list, and you guys did suggest that as well. Now, Will Grigg as well, I don't really use him. I prefer Hanlon massively anyway. We have just brought in Parrott as well, so Will Grigg, who just hasn't had a good time at Sunderland anyway, in real life included, I've put him on the transfer list as well. That gives us a little bit of money. Now, Conor McLaughlin as well, it's the same rating as Luke O'Nien, but Luke O'Nien as a right back is considerably younger. I think it's 24, 25 now. So I think we don't really need him there. And what I'm trying to do as well in that right back role, I want a younger right back to be sort of under Luke O'Nien, because I don't want to just get rid of Luke O'Nien. So we are going to be going in for a younger right back and maybe slightly less rated, so we can build on him as well. So we're bringing a little bit of youth in, hopefully, in this transfer window. Lee Burge as well, because we have Rose, who's probably going to overtake or has overtaken John McLaughlin in goal. We have John McLaughlin anyway. We have another youngster in the youth squad who is going to come through as well, who's very highly rated. So there's no point really in having Lee Burge there, because then we're going to have 4 goalkeepers, and it is pretty pointless. Next up, Alin Ozturk, which is... it's quite a heartbreaking one because I do really like him. But what I'm hoping to do in this transfer window is bring in one really decent centre-back, or more of an experienced one. I don't really want to go for a young centre-back in this transfer window. I want a more of an experienced one, which is what we're going to go for, and you shall see very, very soon. Jack Bainbridge, another centre-back who we just don't really need. He went out on loan last season, didn't improve at all, rated 53. He's 22 years of age. He's not going to get anywhere near the squad. Next up, we have Ethan Robson, who I'm going to set out to go on loan. He did very well last year, but I am going to set him to go out on loan, as well as Samut as well. Depending on how the transfer window goes, I will probably remove these two off the loan list, depending on how it goes, like I say, because I don't want us to be left lacking in the centre of midfield. But that is the transfer list, or our transfer list of players, just so you are aware. Now, for that right back role, I'm stuck between 2 players, or I was. But when I worked out how much players would cost, it works out better for me to go for Key Jana Hueva. I think you say Hueva. I'll call him Hueva. Let me know in the comments. I think it might be Hoover. I know, which sounds a bit daft, but because he is from the Netherlands, I think that might be how you pronounce it. I'm going to say Hueva from now on, or up until I'm corrected. But it was between Hueva and Jayden Bogle. Jayden Bogle is actually going to cost considerably more than Hueva. Although he's good, Bogle, and I probably would maybe prefer him. I would want a younger player that's going to be sort of underneath Luke O'Nien to work under him and get better and have competition in that kind of way. And also, because Jayden Bogle will cost a lot more, it would kind of ruin my plans I have for other positions and other players to go for. Because he will cost anywhere between 4.3 and 5.2 million, which is quite a lot. So I'm going to go for Hueva, who I don't really know much about, but he is 6 foot, he's right back, and or he can play centre back as well, which I think is really good. Of course, they have quite a lot of players at Liverpool who will be better than him, so I don't think it's too unrealistic either. So to get a permanent deal for him, I think would be great. And again, it's another really cheap one, between 1.3 and 1.75 million we could maybe get him for. So this is who I am going to go for, and he has a player face as well, so thank you for suggesting him, because you guys know I do love a good player face. So so yeah, it's ideal really. So we'll start off with 1.2. See if they accept that. Maybe not. Might be a little bit cheeky. 1.25. We'll take that. So we're doing quite well. We're actually going under budget from what I've written down, because I thought they might want a little bit more for him, because I'm sure he will have plenty of potential. But we'll go into his contract and negotiate. Again, I know a lot of you guys like to delegate, but I just like to get it over the line and sort it quite quickly. So he wants an important squad role, which is a little bit frustrating. I did try and offer a rotation. He wasn't having any of it. But he is going to be there and thereabouts with Luke O'Nien, and if we train him up, it's going to be quickly rated higher than Luke O'Nien. But again, like I said earlier, I don't want to just dish Luke O'Nien out. I don't at all. But I will try and offer him a long-term contract if he is willing. Yes, because he is a youngster. 5-year contract. He doesn't want a release clause. Again, it's going very smoothly. I'm waiting for something to really ruin our time at the minute. I'll remove the bonus. I always try and remove the bonus because that takes up a lot of the money. 3.9k a week. I'll accept that. That's fine. And our second player is in. So that's 2 youngsters. We already have Troy Parrott, and now we have Key Jana Hueva. Again, please let me know in the comments if I'm saying that wrong. It could be Hoover, I don't know. But we've got Hueva in there and Troy Parrott. 2 18-year-olds, 2 youngsters, which I think is a really good start to this transfer window. Now for a striker. This player was suggested in the last episode as well. He has a player face as well, which is great. It is Lucas Mecca. I believe you pronounce it Mecca and you don't pronounce the N. I did actually look up a couple of videos before I started recording to see how commentators pronounce his name, and everyone seems to say Mecca, but it's quite difficult not to say Mecca. But either way, I'm saying Mecca for the time being. But he did go out on loan to Preston from Manchester City. He played a ton of games, but only scored 3 or 4 goals, I think. I think he got a good 38, 39 appearances as well. He did go back out on loan to Wolfsburg. It looks like he's signed there permanently. I don't know how well he's doing there, but he can play as a striker on the right or the left. And, you know, I think it's a nice little player to get for our sort of star striker in the Championship. Because if Wilgrid goes, then we'll have Parrott, we'll have Hanlon and Mecca as well. And I think that's 3 really solid strikers. I don't think we need any more because we only play one up top anyway at the moment. So I think that would be a good strike to go for, and a very good suggestion. A good 2 or 3 year suggested to him actually. So we're going to go in for him anyway. 3.6 million. What do you think about that? 3.85. That's actually brilliant. I think I might just take that. That is actually excellent, because I've got written down here that they might be wanting anywhere between 4.85 and 6.9. So again, we're under budget as of right now. But for another few transfers, we are relying on players outgoing, if you know what I mean. There is another couple of players that I do want to go for after Mecca as well. Oh, but he doesn't like the wages. He's currently on 10k a week. I offered 10k a week, and they find that insulting. Oh, we'll have to go back in for him at a later date, which is really annoying. I knew there'd be a hitch somewhere. But yeah, he's the striker that we are going to be going for as well. We'll have to come back to him later on in the episode. Now, as the centre-back, there was a couple that I was really close to looking at. There was Matt Miazga, and there was also Goldson. But they are both worth quite a lot. It doesn't say that right now, but I am aware of how much they are worth. Either of them really relatively similar in value, anywhere between 6 to 9 million, which drains our account like completely, absolutely fully. And like I said, I did really want to go for a more experienced player. I know there is Goldson there, who's 27, and he's rated a little bit better than the centre-back I'm actually going to go for, because the centre-back I am going to go for is Ethan Pinnock of Brentford, who I'm a big fan of. I have been for quite some time in real life now. 6'4", he's got a little bit of pace considering his height, but his strength 82. You know, he is more experienced, 27 years of age, so I think it's a realistic signing to go for as well. So I'm going to go for Pinnock, who would ultimately replace Ozturk if he is to go out. 2.15, I'll absolutely take that, 100% take that. And I think Pinnock is an absolutely class defender to play. He is great when he played for him, when he played for Barnsley. Of course, he did leave Barnsley to go to Brentford, but he's an excellent defender, really, really good defender. I'm pretty sure he was in the team of the season last year in League One as well. He was absolutely brilliant. So I think that bit of experience would be great for us. And realistic, of course. We'll give him an important squad role. He might want crucial. He will want crucial. So we'll give him the crucial because he will be. I think him and Jordan Willis or Watmo, either way, whatever partnership we go for, it'd be a great partnership anyway. Particularly Willis, because Willis has got pace, Pinnock has got pace, so I think that'd be a great little partnership there. I'll just put exactly what he's on, or 21,000. I don't know whether I'm messing this up at all. 21,000. He's happy with that. So I've gone just underneath what he was already on. I know a lot of people might say I've overpaid there. But we have our man. And I know Miazga and Galton would be on considerably higher wages as well. So we obviously failed with Mecca, which we'll go back in for later on. We brought in Troy Parrott. We brought in Key Jana Hueva and also Ethan Pinnock as well, which I'm really, really happy with. Now, we still have 7.1 million left in the bank. And there are now, I think, 3 players I am looking at. One of them isn't an absolute necessity, but I am looking at some other players, and I'll tell you exactly who they are. Now, the central midfielder, I wanted one really badly, and you guys nailed it with Josh Brownhill, who, I'm not going to lie, I'm not massively familiar with, but his ratings are awesome. I think he's actually his base rating is about 73, 74, but he's just got such solid stats. Everything is at least a minimum of 60 everywhere, some in the 70s. He can play centre mid, CDM, and it's his stamina as well, as you can see, anywhere between 90 and 94, which is just insane. So he's a player I'm looking at, but he's very, very expensive. 6.5 million he is worth, but it would be anywhere between 8.2 and 11.7 as well. I think the only way we could work that deal now, really, is if we did maybe try and do a player swap somewhere, but I don't know whether they would want any of our players that we're willing to give away. So I could try it and see if we can try and squeeze something over the line, but it'd be highly, highly unlikely. And when we look at the wage budget as well, it's probably not really worth it, to be honest with you. So at the minute, we are quite reliant on some of the players going out, and also, of course, we do have the pre-season tournament that will bring in money. So whilst we wait for some more money to come in, there is another player, Antonio Marin, who I've never heard of before, but he does play for Dynamo Zagreb. Again, like I say, never heard of him. I am keeping McGeady, although a lot of you guys did suggest for me to sell him. I'm keeping McGeady because I do think he has a good enough rating to play in the Championship, and I wanted a younger player to play under him again. It's a kind of strategy I've gone for this season. It's not always about young players, but that is mainly what you guys suggested. But I'd like to have a youngster underneath someone who's a little bit more experienced. For example, Hueva under Luke O'Nien. This Marin could work under Aidan McGeady. So we're going to try and go for him. He's got 4-star skill and moves, 4-star weak foot, which is really good as well. Hopefully he does have a little bit of pace and agility, which he does say he has there. Bit of dribbling skills. We'll go in for him and see what we can do. Right, it's gone for 4.6. We'll accept that. 4.6 million for a youngster. Again, I know they are all mainly young players, apart from Pinnock. But that is mainly what you guys suggested, and that's all I've really got to play with. But I am quite happy to do that. So we'll go to negotiate his contract, and he only wants 7.6k a week. So I'm going to accept that straight off the bat, because that isn't much at all. So now I'm really, really excited to play with Antonio Marin. Again, it was a player I've never actually heard of whatsoever, but there he is in Sunderland colours. He can play left wing, right wing, or as a cam. 71 rated, which is very, very good for a 19-year-old as well. So he's going to come in and hopefully push us. I would like to finish in the top half of the Championship. I think that's a nice goal to aim for. I don't really necessarily aim for promotion this year, but once the youngsters grow, I think maybe next year will be a time for us to go for promotion. So now the only 2 players we have left that I want to go for is Mecca and Brownhill as well. And we're looking at about 8 or 9 million we would need to get them both, and I don't know whether we're going to be able to do just that. So of course we'll simulate forward, And I think once we've maybe got a few players off the books and then also done the pre-season tournament as well, we might be able to squeeze these players over the line. That would be absolutely ideal. So we will simulate this first game of the pre-season tournament. Hopefully we do go on a little bit of a run here. And we win the first game 2-1 with Hanlon starting off with a goal and Declan John, the left back, as well, getting us the 2-1 win. I did see quite a few suggestions for left backs on the topic of Declan John, but I just don't think we need it. We've got Declan John, we've got Hume, we have Harris, the youngster who's coming through, who can also play as a centre back, so I don't really think there's much need to go for another left back. So we have received a transfer offer for Alim Ozturk, 700k. We'll just have a quick check to see how much he's actually worth. 625k. It says maximum we could really ask for is 710k. I'll accept that, 700k. I think that is fair. And I know some of you guys might be thinking, you know, oh, you're changing the team too much, or this, that, and the other. But we have just been promoted, and most promoted sides do buy a considerable amount of players, and there is going to be a lot of change whenever we do get promoted. Of course, if we do remain in the Championship next season, then we might only sign 1 or 2 players, you know what I mean? But when we do get promoted, we need to try and get our team up to scale with the level of teams we're going against, you know what I mean? Of course, I don't want to completely ruin the side, but, and it is your guys' suggestions as well, to be fair, so you can't blame me. But they are good suggestions, and I love the players that you guys suggested, hence why I didn't wait a few days for the next episode. But we do have an offer here for Will Grigg, 2.2 million, which is a really nice offer, because I'm pretty sure he's only worth 1.7. I'm pretty sure, yeah, 2.3 is the most it says we could ask for. I'll accept 2.2 as well. I think that's a very, very fair offer. And that would be Will Grigg going to Brazil. What an exotic transfer that would be for Will Grigg. But we will simulate the next game in the pre-season tournament. Go on, lads, get us a win. Get us a win. Parrott is making his debut, well, in the pre-season tournament anyway, and it's 1-1. It's Madison who gets the goal, and Waver picks up a little knock there. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, and luckily it's only for 2 days, so we won't be out for long. Come on, lads, get us a win. Get us a win. We need that money. We need that money, and we win 3-0. Power with a double, and Madison getting a goal as well. So I think we might just be able to scrape the transfer of Mecca, but Brownhill is the one that I really, really want, and he's worth a load, so it's quite difficult. We definitely need a better striker. We do have Hanlon and we have Parrott as well. We definitely need another striker now that Grigg is gone. But I just wanted that big sort of key signing. And I mean, everyone who was signed so far have been sort of 1, 2, 3 million signings. Nothing too extravagant, but that Brownhill I just really, really want. But we are going to go back in for Mecca. Hopefully it is going to be a similar deal that we managed to agree before. I'm pretty sure it was only like 3.2 million that we did agree earlier on. I might be wrong there. It might have been 4.2. I can't really remember anymore. But we'll offer a transfer fee anyway. 4 million, 4.1 million. We'll take that. 4.1. So last time we did offer him 10k. Which you absolutely flat out refused, and that is what he's on now. Okay, so we've settled it, and it's a massive wage, really. 20k we had to settle for, but Mecca is our star striker that we have signed for the season that I'm really, really happy with. So we've got 5 signings in right now. We have Troy Parrott, we have Key Jana Hueva, we have Ethan Pinnock, we have Antonio Marin, Lucas Mecca, who I think is going to be an absolutely great signing, I would think. But now the only player and the only position I want to improve is that centre of midfield, because I think we are lacking ever so slightly there. But we're going to have to really dig for money. I don't know how we're going to do it. We have a transfer offer for Bainbridge that won't bring in much, but 75k we will accept. So I'm not really too sure how on earth we're going to raise the amount of money we want to raise for Brownhill. But before we continue with transfers, we have another game in the pre-season tournament. Come on, lads. We need the money so bad. And we win 2-1, thank God. Power and Gooch getting the goals for us. And we have received an offer for Conor McLaughlin, 750k, which I will just straight up accept. It says the maximum we could go for is 800. So 750k there. I mean, if we can't get Brownhill before the first game of the season, and there's no way of us making the money, I will just look at other options, because there are a few more cheaper options that we could go for. But I just think Brownhill just looks so good. He's just got such brilliant all-round stats. But now we do go to the final of the pre-season tournament. Come on, lads. Come on, get us some money. And we win 2-1, fantastic. Embleton and Madison on the score sheet. Now that is confirmation that Conor McLaughlin has been sold. We have received an offer as well for Chris Maguire, which will absolutely break my heart to see him go, to be honest with you. But we need to be realistic. We are in the Championship. He's rated 66. Even though he was okay last season, his rating still went down. So he's only going to go even further. 570k is the offer, and 570k is what I am going to accept, sorry. And it's another player that's going to Brazil. So that is the transfer budget as it stands. which is no way near enough for Brownhill. We'll simulate a bit forward, or we'll sim a bit forward, you know what I mean, and see if anything does come in. But we are going to have to look at other options. There are another couple of central midfielders that I could go for, but like I say, Brownhill is the one that I did really, really want. Now, we did actually just receive a transfer offer for Rose, our young goalkeeper, who is already rated 72 or 73, one of the two. And he's only 16 years of age, which is insane. And the offer was 6.5 million, which of course we're not going to accept. We do have an offer for Lee Burge, who isn't going to be worth much, but it is just someone to get off the books, isn't it? 270k, which is fair, we will accept. And that is the offer I'm talking about for Rose, 6.5 million. We could ask for 9.2, but we're not going to. What's the point? We're going to have one of the best keepers in the game in a couple of seasons. And also a transfer offer for Elliot Embleton, which I am going to reject. Right, so we are right around the corner from the first game of the season, and it doesn't look like we are going to be able to get the money we need to raise for Brownhill, which is a massive shame, really, because that would have been a perfect transfer window in my eyes. But there are some other decent central midfield options that you guys have suggested that I'm going to have a look at. Right, so there's been a slight change of plan because, of course, we don't have enough money for Brownhill. I've had a look at the other central defensive midfielders or the other centre midfielders that you guys did suggest. There are a few decent ones in there, like Yearwood and Skip and stuff like that. But there's one position that I noticed that we haven't really improved, and that is the right of midfield. The only position or only play we have really for there is Lyndon Gooch. We do have Kimpioka, but he is rated 62. It's going to take a while to train up to really give Gooch some competition. And in the centre of midfield, we have quite a few players. Of course, not all of the greatest quality. We have Dobson and Power, who are good, but then we have Samut, we have Robson, we have Embleton, who can play there, who, of course, they are sort of like quite lower rated. But, again, on the right-hand side, we don't really have anyone to compete with Lyndon Gooch properly anyway, a proper little competitor. And the one player I've just noticed that we can afford, that was suggested earlier in the series, that is Jamal Lowe, who we know all about. He was absolutely incredible for Portsmouth last season in League One. So for us to go and get him now and compete with Lyndon Gooch, that is two class players to compete on that right-hand side. So I'm going to go in for him between 2.6 and 3.1 million, which is within our budget. I'll start with 2.6 million. What do they think to that? 2.6 million, and they're going to accept it, which is great. So now hopefully we get this contract quickly and done over the line. There is his salary. We'll accept it straight off the bat, and there we go. That is pretty much our transfer window done. So we've got Troy Parrott, we have Ki Juana Hueva, we have Ethan Pinnock, we have Antonio Marin, we have Lucas Mecca, and Jamal Lowe as well. Bit more experience as well on that right-hand side. He is 26 years of age rather than going for another sort of 19-year-old. He's experienced now. He's had a season also in the Championship in this anyway. He was excellent in League One, so it'd be nice to bring him to the Stadium of Light. But now, finally, we are going to go into our first game of the Championship season away from home at Blackburn. And this is the team that we're going to start the season with. We have Rose in goal, taking over from John McLaughlin. We have Declan John, Ethan Pinnock making his debut with Willis as the centre-back partnership. We have O'Nien on the right hand side. We have Dobson and Power in the middle. We have Madison as the cam, McGeady on the left. We have Jamal Lowe making his debut on the right hand side, with Mecca again making his debut up top. Let's get into it. And here we are. It's the start of the Championship season, which is strangely starting on a Wednesday night, which is very realistic, EA. Well done for that. We're starting on a Wednesday night away from home at Ewood Park against Blackburn. I'm looking forward to using some of our new players. Of course, I don't want to just completely get rid of the players that played very well for us last season, so not all of them are going to get a start today, the new players anyway. But can we get off to a good start in the Championship? Can we break now? It is Mecca. Give it on to Jamal Lowe, who's bombing down this right-hand side. He has loads and loads of pace, this lad. It's still low. Can he get it in? He does towards Mecca. It's headed, and it's gone wide. So a really good chance. It was a really good break by Jamal Lowe down the right side, and Mecca so close to getting his first goal for the club on his debut. Here is Dobson now, out wide for Aidan McGeady. Turn, I can see the overlap by Declan John. Knock it inside, and again, I can see you. It is Declan John, still John, and it's a good save. Really good break. We're going to have to settle for the counter-attack, really, as we did last season. Blackburn have looked really good in possession, but we do have a corner now that's going to be easily cleared away. Now they are breaking now. Blackburn, go on, Pinnock, get there first. Well in. Get it away. Oh, he's offside anyway, thank God. But that was a great interception by Ethan Pinnock. His experience really showing there. George Dobson, who's been excellent for us so far in this series. On to power. Turn your man, Mecca. It is Madison. That's a good turn. Have a crack, son. He tries to. It's been taken off his toes. And we do have a free kick just outside the box. It is Aidan McGeady, and it's a bit too easy for the keeper. We don't get many free kicks for me to really practice. But it weren't a bad effort, I guess. Good play there from Mecca. On to McGeady. It's Mecca again. Can he find Lowe? He can. It's Lowe. He strikes it first time, and that was just hopeful. But we've played really, really well in this opening game of the season against Blackburn so far. We've well, I wouldn't say we've battered them because they've actually been quite good in possession, Blackburn, without really creating anything. But Jamal Lowe and Aidan McGeady on either side are causing them all kinds of problems. Oh no, they are breaking now, and Luke O'Nine's been cut out down this left side. Hold him up, Willis. Hold him up. Hold him up. It's a ball in, straight to the keeper. That's yours, Rose. Well in. Now it's a good chance here for Blackburn. Come on. Oh no, here we go. It's a good chance, and it's a great save by Rose. They've come out a completely different team in the second half. Blackburn, we really can't get a hold of it. Get it away. Well in, Rose. Punching it. It is hot. Still around the area. Break him down. Close him. Chapman whips it in. That's yours, Luke. Well in. Still got the ball. Can't get hold of it at all. Come on, Luke. That's yours. Well played. That'll do. Well in. What a ball that is. Brilliant play. It is Aidan McGeady. Go on, get it him, son. Still McGeady. Still McGeady. Have a crack. He goes for it, and that's terrible from Aidan McGeady. 15 minutes left. I'm going to have to bring on some subs now, aren't I? Marin is coming on. Antonio Marin to make his debut. And Gooch and Hanlon are both coming on as well, just to change things up top for the final 15 minutes of the game. Can we maybe squeeze a winner here, even though it has been mainly Blackburn in the second half? It's a good chance for them now. Breaking forward. Hold him up, Pinnock. Good chance. Get into him, Declan John. Come on. Oh, it's a good ball as well. Oh, thank God, Rose has claimed that one. That's it. That's class. Now it is Hanlon. On the overlap is Aidan McGeady. Oh, sorry, it's Marin. I forgot that McGeady's gone off. It is Marin. Get it across goal. Surely someone. Oh, there's no one there. But now it is Lennon Gooch. Get it back across goal. He tries to. It's dinked in. Can he get there? Oh, he can't. What a chance that was. Oh. They're just holding on to the ball now, Blackburn, for the final few moments of the game. We do concede a free kick. There's only a minute left. It's either 0-0 this, or Blackburn are going to get a late goal. I'd rather it be a 0-0, to be honest with you. It does hit it, though. Dak! And it's gone straight to Rose. Get it out. The whistle's going to go in it. Yes, it has. And the first game of the season, what an anticlimax that is. 0-0. I suppose the biggest positive is that we competed and we didn't just completely fall apart. We played really well in the first half, but in the second, Blackburn did dominate, to be fair, so probably a fair result. What do you make of such a strong debut, and that is for Jamal Lowe? It's clear to see why I brought him in. He was really good, particularly in that first half. He absolutely battered him down the right side. What do you make of such a disappointed debut for Mecca? I'll keep it realistic, because he has only just started. Declan John, sticking with John paid off. How tough was the decision? I'll put, this is just the beginning for John. Keep his morale up, and that is the interview done. But that is the end of the first episode in the Championship, guys. As you can see, there's only one game played, so there's no real point in showing you the league table. But in fact, let's have a quick look to see who did get relegated. So we do have Burnley in there, who got relegated from the Premier League last season. We also have Aston Villa in there, who got relegated, and Norwich as well, of course. But as I say, this is the end of the episode. If you have enjoyed and you're happy with that transfer window, please smash the like button for me. It'd be massively, massively appreciated. And subscribe to the channel if you're not already to become a fully fledged member of the Sassy Army. But for now, you take care and stay jammy.